Hello, I'm Owen Hughes, and you're watching Buckingham News, live at 5. With Canada announcing its plans to legalise cannabis next spring, Britain has been drawn into debates over the drug too. A recent poll of 2,000 people by survey company ORB has found high support for the drug's legalisation. We sent Zoe Briggs to find out more.
According to an article from The Mirror, almost half of Britain supports the legalisation of cannabis for sale in licensed shops. Campaigners have claimed that maintaining the drug's illicit status will only play into the hands of organised criminals. However, others have claimed that cannabis has several health benefits, as well as actually furthering the progress of medical science and bringing in an estimated $1 billion in tax.
A lot may depend on exactly what has been legalised. If it is just that there is a legal supply at a low level akin to and controlled like smoking, I've little doubt that we would have to implement rules very much as we do on smoking as to where and how it can be done around the campus.
The Canadian government has announced its plans to legalise controlled cannabis starting next September, and people are questioning if the UK should follow suit.
It'd probably be best to stay as like a criminal offence, but if they do want to legalise it, they should definitely have like licence.
I can't see one reason why you should legalise it.
I think to some extent there's definitely cases where that it should be more available, especially maybe sort of like health.
The legalisation of cannabis is still an ongoing debate, but as surveys continue to show their support for the legalisation of the plant, it is only a matter of time before the government responds. This is Zoe Briggs for Buckingham News.
A second stash of historic coins has been found in the same Buckinghamshire field where the largest hoard of Saxon treasure was discovered last year. 5 coins with what looks to be an interesting story attached were discovered in January, but details have only just come to light thanks to an article in The Searcher magazine. Jason Dunn reports.
The latest find was dug up in Lenborough Farm, just yards away from last year's cache of 5,000 silver pennies. This latest mini-hoard numbers just 5 silver coins, but its discovery comes with an interesting twist. The coins were unlikely to have been lost but placed in the ground for safekeeping. They were in a purse that had been buried sometime in the 16th or 17th century. It's likely they were deliberately concealed due to the great depth at which they were found. Whoever buried them obviously hoped to return and dig them up again.
It's possible they're a hoard and they've been buried either to be collected later or to hide them. Because it's such a small group of finds, it's also possible that it's a purse drop, so someone's accidentally dropped them and not meant to put them there, so it could be either.
The coins have been identified as 1 Philip and Mary shilling dated 1555, 3 Elizabeth I sixpenny pieces minted in 1574 and 1591, and 1 James I sixpence struck in 1603. Enough at the time to pay for a seat at Shakespeare's latest play, Othello. This is Jason Dunn for Buckingham News.
The Buckinghamshire and Milton Keynes Patient Forum was held last Wednesday at Buckingham Community Centre. The biannual forum allows the community to have its own say in how the South Central Ambulance Service is run. Vithunya Apudurai has more.
South Central Ambulance Service NHS Foundation Trust holds patient forums every 6 months in each of the 4 counties it serves. The forum allows members, together with local people, health professionals, ambulance service users and representatives of local organisations, the opportunity to get involved and influence the service that SCAS runs in Buckinghamshire.
And the idea behind that is that we tell communities how we're doing and we get feedback from them about things they would like to see us do.
This year, the forum will be focusing on the recent Equality and Diversity Strategy assessment with a presentation by the Equality and Diversity Manager, Ludlow Johnson.
And that clearly engages with the notion of equality and diversity, because obviously all patients have different protected characteristics. And so we're looking at, there are 9 protected characteristics. You have race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, pregnancy, maternity, age, and so on and so forth.
The forum saw a question-answer session with Mark Begley, Senior Operation Managers for Bucks and NK, and a presentation by Rachel Coney, the newly appointed SCAS Charity CEO. This is Mitunya Pudurai, Buckingham News.
In other news, regulars at the Mitre in Buckingham were in shock on Monday after hearing of the death of the landlord, Keith Templeman. Mr. Templeman, 58, died after falling downstairs while on holiday in France on Sunday night. His widow, Jane, was immediately joined by his son, James Templeman, and other members of the family. As well as being an award-winning landlord, Mr. Templeman was a talented composer and concert standard cellist. Details of the memorial service will be published soon. May 5th was polling day for the new Police and Crime Commissioner of Thames Valley Police. The count went to a second round as no candidate received more than 50% of the first preference vote. After second preferences had been counted, Conservative candidate Anthony Stansfeld won with 54% of the final votes, totalling more than 200,000 votes. Stansfeld was re-elected and will serve his second term as Police and Crime Commissioner of Thames Valley Police. A talk on entrepreneurship was hosted on Darty Hall on Monday. The talk was held by Peter Reid, an angel investor who witnesses the trials and tribulations of entrepreneurs on a daily basis. Mr. Reid highlighted the need for creativity, resilience, focus, integrity, self-awareness and self-compassion to an audience of budding entrepreneurs. He has a particular interest in the importance of mindfulness in facing the high-risk nature of being an entrepreneur. Every year, Buckingham enters into the Best Kept Village competition. In 2015, the town received a Certificate of Merit for the high levels of maintenance at the Hunter Street Graveyard and Brackley Road Cemetery. Circular Walk and the Railway and Scenic Walks were also commended for being well used and an attractive facility for residents and visitors. Judging will take place in June and the Town Council is requesting the residents to keep the town tidy and well maintained with the hope to do even better this year. The law school held its annual mooting competition final on Friday. The competition involves students battling head-to-head in simulated court proceedings. We sent Tyler Mufti to watch the proceedings.
The topic of the moot for this term was EU law and ranged in difficulty for first and second year students. The competition aimed to give students a chance to get the closest experience of what a real courtroom is like. The moot involves students giving oral presentation about a legal problem up in front of the opposing counsel and a judge. The students then enter an oral argument.
If you want a career in the law industry, I believe that whether you want to become a solicitor or a barrister, it's necessary to be able to speak in front of a crowd. Any leadership position anyway would require you to be able to speak. So this is just getting you to be able to articulate your speech and also to be able to apply the law.
Students put forward their cases to Gavin Love, a law lecturer at University of Buckingham, who enacted the judge. The case from the first trial was on equality for men and women in the workplace, and the second was the use of e-cigarettes. The law students did an amazing job at competing at this term's moot. Let's just hope that the next coming students are able to take on the challenge and be just as successful. This is Talam of the Buckingham News.
And now over to sport with Alex Shattuck.
Thank you, Owen. Tunnel Mill Exercise Studio offers a variety of different workout sessions that students and locals can choose from. One of the most popular workouts offered is Zumba. We sent Federica Brattiato to join in with the Zumba action.
Created in the 1990s by Colombian dancer and choreographer Alberto Perez, Zumba is a mix of dance and aerobics. It has become an exercise craze around the world, with over 180 countries teaching the Latin-inspired workout. Accompanied with typical Latin music such as merengue, salsa and reggaeton, Zumba not only helps you burn calories, but also makes you forget you're exercising, as you're just moving to the beat.
It's popular because anyone can do it, all levels of ability, fitness and health-wise. It's not just for your fit. It's a very good cardio-based class, also mood lifting, so endorphin releasing, and leaves you feeling very happy, as well as working your heart.
Zumba is a full body workout and it doesn't even feel like exercise, so why not give it a go? This is Federica Brattiato from Buckingham.
The University of Buckingham Sport Union held a recreational sports day on Bella Lawn this afternoon. With each sport in the union taking part, there was a big turnout. Chris Amar has the story.
Now that the summer season has returned, it was the perfect opportunity for the BSU to hold their event. Not only is the sports day raising money for the union, but it also showcases what all the sports teams have to offer.
Each sport team for the union has come up with a fun activity for the day, such as football, volleyball, fencing, and basketball.
For people who aren't necessarily involved in competitive clubs to get involved with just an active sport. and then hopefully they might decide they like the sport and they'll join up the club and just meet new people.
But with exercise and heat comes hunger and thirst, which is why, apart from the activities, there's also a barbecue and drinks sold at the event.
Whether you like to take part in sports or socialize with friends, today has been a mix of both, making it a fun and relaxing day. This is Chris Armar for Buckingham News.
In other sports news, the university has launched Les Mills virtual exercise classes starting at 2 p.m. in the Tannoy Exercise Studio every Wednesday. Classes are open to everyone and include body balance, a workout combining yoga, tai chi and Pilates, or body pump, a barbell-inspired workout. Each class is 30 or 55 minutes. If you're interested in taking part, contact Stefan, the sports officer, at stefan.ridley@buckingham.ac.uk. That's it for the sport lineup. Now back to Owen in the studio.
An interior store in Buckingham is looking to retain its title as Best Interior Stores in the Bucks and Oxon region. The Muddy Stilettos Awards are live now, so we sent Paul Rutland to see whether this local store has still got it.
Secret Messages Interiors is certainly a quirky shop. Housed across 3 floors are a myriad of furniture, lighting, soft furnishings and a huge array of home accessories. Originally a 19th century tavern, the store has evolved into a successful and unique store, winning the Muddy Stiletto Award for the Best Interiors Shop in 2015. The shop, in Buckingham's Hidden Quarter, combines a contemporary mix of vintage-styled pieces with more modern interior design items, and now it's looking to retain its title as the best interior store in the region.
We're still very much on the quirky and unique sort of ethos and trying to give people in Buckingham and the surrounding villages and that things that they can't get at the mainstream shops and not in mass volume.
Muddy Stilettos is a website which acts as a guide to the best restaurants, hotels, walks, interiors, boutiques and day trips in the local counties.
The categories all sort of reflect anything that would increase your fun in your free time, if you see what I mean. So there are 30 categories, everything from yoga Pilates studio, through to best destination pub, casual dining, best day spa, all that kind of thing. You can find them all if you go onto the award site. You can see them all there.
Already a multiple award-winning store, Secret Messages Interiors is a success story the town can be proud of, and retaining their title will only add to this. This is Paul Rutland, Buckingham News.
Men in Sheds hosted a showcase event on Friday that displayed their new workshop and the work they have done so far. The event also had demonstrations and talks by members of the group. We sent Yuan to the DIY event.
The Men in Sheds has sheds all over the UK for men to come together and work on their own projects, share resources, knowledge and tools. Buckingham's group, held in the Code Next Door Woolpack, started in 2014 and has since then brought in a lot of eager locals. The group allows its members to do carpentry, cave-in, whitening and furniture renovation. Men in Sheds is not just open to older men, but to women and young people too.
Men in Sheds enables men of all ages to get together and make stuff that they would normally do on their own. And it's a social thing. It helps particularly people who are may feel isolated, who've been bereaved, who've been made redundant.
The event promoting Men in Sheds created the perfect social occasion for men to get together, share a common interest, and learn a new hobby. This means only members club give men the chance to dabble in any DIY projects without the expense of owning a whole workshop. Let's hope that Men in Sheds continues their great work in uniting the locals of Buckingham. This is Yuan for Buckingham News.
Want to get involved in National Donut Week but not quite feeling the classic jam donut? Turns out there's more than one way to enjoy your donut. Shireen Tan shares a unique twist on the sweet and deep fried classic.
To celebrate Donut Week, we'll be making donut cones, a especially yummy twist on how to serve ice cream.
You will need 2 packets of ready-to-bake cinnamon rolls, 1 cupcake tin, a pastry brush, a packet of chocolate chips, and your favorite ice cream. Preheat your oven to 180 degrees. Wrap the cinnamon rolls and cut them into strips. Overturn the cupcake tin and oil the bottoms of the tins with some cooking oil. Slowly wrap the length of the cinnamon roll around the bottoms of the greased cupcake tins. Now put them into the fridge to chill. Once the oven is preheated, put the cones in for 15 to 20 minutes or until golden brown. Once done, take the cones out and allow them to cool. While waiting for the cones to cool, take up your chocolate chips and put them into a microwave-safe bowl. Microwave the chocolate chips in 30-second intervals until thoroughly melted. Once the cones have cooled completely, take a brush, or if you don't have one, you can use a knife, but it gets a bit messy, to brush the insides of the cone with chocolate. Allow the chocolate to set and you're ready for your ice cream. Take a generous scoop of your favorite ice cream and pop it right on top of the cone. And there you have it, the donut cone.
So whether you prefer a glazed ring or jam-filled donut, try out something new this week to celebrate the nation's favorite pastry. This is Showing Time, Buckingham News.
Thank you for watching Buckingham News. We'll see you next week.